Okay, guys, welcome to the Crypto Talks. I'm your host, Laga. I'm gonna share some charts with all of you and some news. We're gonna look at the bullish perspective, the bearish perspective on the market, and then we can have a more realistic view of what we can expect of the markets. And then we're just gonna kick things off. All right, first of all, let's start with the current state of the crypto market. We can see that the crypto market is potentially finding its bottom over here. I'm going to share some other charts with you guys before I'm going to dive into the deeper stuff of all the other tweets. So just bear with me right now. So, but looking at my own TA right now, we can definitely see that 29,000 up to 27,000 is a good bottom for the Bitcoin price. If you look at some indicators, for example, the RSI on longer time frame, let's go on the weekly time frame. We can see that, let me remove this for you guys. We can see that the RSI is almost bottoming out. The moment when the RSI reached level 34 over here was during the pandemic, and that is the moment when we bounced off from this level and went up to a new bull market. So it's gonna take up a long time. The sideways accumulation can take up to 224 days before we start the big run up towards new all-time highs, or to even come close to the previous all-time high. So we got to be patient with that. So during this time, what I personally do is I always dollar cost average in. I just look at the current state of the crypto market. For example, if I look at CoinMarketCap over here, I just look at the prices of my favorite altcoins that have strong fundamentals and that have more potential in the future to increase in its value. So these are the coins that I'm dollar cost averaging in, and just building on my portfolio just like I did back in 2019, and managed to get a lot of profit out of it. Unfortunately, I didn't take any profit when Bitcoin was at its all-time high at $69,000. So I lost all my profits over here, but the majority of my portfolio is still in profit because I was buying a lot of crypto back in 2019. So that's still a win for me. But either way, lesson learned. I was new into crypto when I was stepping into 2019. And let me put my cable because my headset is running out of battery. And when I was looking at the charts of Bitcoin, I was looking at specific YouTubers that have a lot of experience when it comes to technical analysis. And most of them were all super bullish because of the emotional cycle that is happening in a bull market. And they had their perspective on the market. I respect them, of course, and their target was up to 200K. So from that point of view, I always also thought like the blow off top is going to be around 200K before we see a major crash. But looking at the current state of the market, we can definitely call this a bear market, a correction. Everything is slowing down. A lot of people are very fearful right now. They're not looking up to buy a lot of crypto right now. So they are just saving up their money. That's what we can see in the dollar chart. If you look over here, if we compare the chart of the dollar next to Bitcoin, let me do it with you guys, and we can definitely see there's a big correlation between these charts. Looking at for example, if we look at the dollar, when it reached the 103 basis points, there was the resistance line that it couldn't break, and the moment when the dollar got rejected from this resistance line, that is the moment when the bull run of Bitcoin started to increase. And you can clearly see when I'm hovering my mouse on the dollar chart, and you can see on the same time when Bitcoin is increasing in price while the dollar is losing its value. And the same thing is happening again. We can see that the dollar got rejected at 104 basis points. So I think what's going to happen is that this is potentially the bottom of Bitcoin, and when the dollar is getting rejected even more, that's when we can slowly see either sideways accumulation and a new run up to new all-time highs. So that's my expectation, and it can take up to 12 months, something like that, just a year time before we reach new potential all-time highs. So we got to we got to be patient, and the best moment to buy crypto coins is when the majority is in a fearful state. That's what we got to focus on. We got to use the reverse mentality, as Warren Buffett said. Be fearful when people are greedy, and be greedy when people are fearful. All right. Let me just share some charts with all of you guys. um, every time when we look at the previous cycle of Bitcoin, we can see two indicators. Um, what is this blue line? Every time the K line of the, okay, it's the stochastic RSI. Okay, so when the stochastic RSI reached the bottom of this level, reached this green level, that is the moment when we saw the bottom of the Bitcoin price coming in, and it was a lot of sideways accumulation, of course, before we went to new all-time highs. And that is the same thing that we can see right now in 2021 and in 2022. So all we got to do right now is looking from the bigger perspective and the previous cycle. It can tell us how the traders behave with this specific asset, which is Bitcoin. And then we can also take that as at our advantage to see what our next play is going to be very profitable in the upcoming bull cycle. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay, this is another technical analysis that I really respect. Looking at the Bitcoin on a weekly time frame, we can definitely see like a big support line and a big resistance line that has been respected over the past years. And every time when Bitcoin got near the resistance line, that is the moment when we saw a heavy correction coming in before we make new lower lows into sideways accumulation. This is the moment when we call the crap market, because the market is going sideways. And this is the perfect moment to buy in. And this is the same thing that we can see right now. We can also see like that Bitcoin is forming a falling wedge pattern on bigger time frame, which means that if the price of an asset is forming bullish pattern on longer time frame, that indicates that a big breakout is coming up. And looking from a TA perspective, everybody knows that a falling wedge pattern is a bullish pattern. And this level, if we can bounce up from here and break this resistance line, this can trigger a really new bull cycle that we haven't seen before. The price is going insane. And I can also notice that Bitcoin is slowly getting mass adopted by a lot of governments, by a lot of countries. Is getting implemented. A lot of companies started to accept Bitcoin nowadays. So we can see that big institutions are also in here to profit from this market, because they know the pandemic, it totally shifted the way we live. We are living more digitally. If you look at the younger generation, everybody just pays with their phone. They pay digitally. They don't know much about cash. That's what I see when I go into the supermarket. These youngsters, they have the newest iPhone. They have even newer phones that I have. I'm just looking at my eyeballs and like, what the hell? At that age, I was like playing with stickers, with Pokemon cards, and these kids, they're just living in a digital area. So we can definitely see that these big institutions and big companies such as Google, Apple, they're always targeting that generation as well, because those people are the new potential customers for their product that they're going to sell in the upcoming years. So all we got to do as investors to be profitable is we got to think long term and try to think from the world events that is happening right now. We need to draw the lines and see what the future is going to hold for crypto and the way we live. We got to look for companies that are working towards the new future, the way we live. And that's the moment when we can take a lot of profit, because we are investing our money into the future. And that's what eventually is going to build up our wealth for in the future. So all we got to do is stay patient and just believe in the market. Don't look too much at the prices, because all the prices that we see right now, it's just emotional. It's just causing emotional influence to all of us. So the big fishes can take more profit in their portfolio and buy the coins even cheaper, because they definitely know this is the future. All right. Bitcoin, a new bull run start signal. Every time the monthly volume oscillator crosses upward, the minus 6% level, a bull run is followed. It has just crossed this level upwards, concluded. Meaning, so this green line, what we see over here, is an indicator. In the previous cycles, we could see that every time we got a bounce off from this level, it started a new bull cycle. And this is the confirmation that we're getting right now as well. So what we can expect right now is a sideways movement. What is this time frame? I can't see what time frame this what the candle bars are indicating, but it's probably a monthly time frame. That's what I think. So what we got to do is like till November and December, that's the market's going to be very boring the upcoming months. So don't expect too much. So all we got to do now is watch closely what the news is telling us, the new indicators, and just keep watching what projects are now, especially building more behind the scene and developing more fundamental value for the future. Those are the projects that are here for the long run. During the bear market, all those meme coins that we saw that popped off in the past year, they're all just gonna be erased from the market. Nobody's gonna look or talk about them anymore. The majority, nobody's gonna talk about it or even remember them. So, and the strong fundamental coins, such as, for example, a Bitcoin is 100% the future. Ethereum, I strongly believe in Chainlink, Polkadot, Cardano, Opulus, and the GWeb token. These are the coins that I'm focusing on because they're providing solution that is gonna provide and make the way we live, make it more simple. And they're targeting the younger generations, the digital world. And those are the coins that are a safe investment from my perspective and also from my analysis. When I'm reading into the white paper and how they develop, how active they are, and they just keep building and developing for their investors. And this is like the golden rule. Invest in those and you will be wealthy guaranteed. It's just a matter of time. All you gotta do is be patient and you will eventually see the money coming running to you, towards you. Never chase profits. Let the profits come to you. That's what we gotta do when we are here as traders. So, Bitcoin, each of the 8 time frames shows a bullish pattern, either in progress or with a bullish breakout already completed. So what I also do when I do my own technical analysis is I don't look at the charts only on one time frame. I look at specific time frames, and then I can see from all these time frames, are we bullish or are we bearish? What can I expect in the longer and shorter time frame? Because my portfolio is built on several strategies. The biggest portion of my portfolio is just hodl. I just diamond hands. I don't care what the market's doing. I'm just dollar cost averaging specific coins. It doesn't matter if it's at all-time high or all-time low. I just keep buying it. For example, Ethereum, I used to buy it a lot. I'm not going to buy it anymore because it's too expensive right now. I can make bigger returns with coins such as Cardano, for example. The metaverse coins that are also very cheap. Also focus on coins that are providing new entries for music for artists in the music industry. That is a coin called Opulus. I'm going to talk about it as well in this session. That is a coin that I'm also focusing on. They already have big partnership with big celebrities such as Tyga, Little Pump, and so on. I don't know if it was Little Pump, but I don't like him, but whatever. But these artists are gonna, if they do something, their fans are gonna follow them. So if we just follow them, we're just gonna make easy money. And looking at the time frames of the Bitcoin asset on the longer time frame and also on the shorter time frame, we can definitely see that it's all showing bullish indications that a reversal is very high likely to happen in the current state of the market. So, okay, what are the chances now? I think the blue line is a 200 weekly moving average, and that is a indicator that has been built up since 2013. And every time we got a bounce of this blue line, we can see that a new rally is coming up. And there's also a potential that we can go even lower below this, like for example in the pandemic. And I don't know what happened over here. I wasn't in the market since then. But what I can tell you guys now is a good entry to buy these coins very cheap. We as traders, we can never know the bottom and we can never know the top. So all we gotta do is like make an estimation of, is this the risk that I'm willing to take right now? Let's say, for example, I put $1,000 into, for example, Chainlink, and let's say the price is gonna crash with another 35%. Can I handle that crash? Yes or no? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. If you can do that, then it doesn't matter if the market crash or not, because you're in it for the long run anyway. And I highly recommend holding Chainlink till at least $100 and even up to $1,000. I bought Chainlink when it was below $5. It went all the way up to $50. I didn't take any profits. Why? Because Chainlink provides a solution for a lot of blockchains and a lot of crypto coins that are struggling with, because a lot of blockchains, they can only connect and send data within the blockchain. But once they have to interact with another blockchain, with another crypto coin, for example, they need a bridge, and that bridge is called Chainlink. So it's providing a solution. If the crypto market grows, Chainlink is also growing. And I also read some articles that Chainlink has connections with the World Economic Forum, with Klaus Schwab, for example. And that gives me a lot of bullish signs that Chainlink is going to provide more fundamental value of the digital world that is coming upon us. And there's no chance of running away from it. So all we got to do is like play the game with them. It doesn't matter. Like, I believe 100%, like, I believe that crypto is made by the governments, by, I don't know, the CIA or whatever, because I've saw some documentaries on cryptocurrencies as well. Back in the days when I was new into crypto, I thought Bitcoin was a way to escape the traditional financial system that I was born in. You know, like the central banks, they control all the funds that we have. They control our money. They control basically everything. And they don't have an open book when it comes to their transactions. Where is the money coming from? What is the total supply of the dollar? You know, it's basically infinite. So we gotta. So when I was studying crypto, I started to realize, like, hey, wait a minute. I was born in a corrupted financial system, and Bitcoin is the exit plan for this. But then later on, when I started to read more, and develop more, I started to realize that Bitcoin is definitely run by one of the big cartels of the government or the CIA. That's what I personally believe. Why? Because it's very easy for the FBI and CIA agencies to track all your payments. Because all the payments on crypto, on Bitcoin, is open source. So they can track all the financial transactions. And that is the reason why most exchanges now are implemented the KYC. The KYC stands for Know Your Customer. So you have to upload your bank account, your passports, the address where you live. And this is the way they can track all the transactions that you made. And it's all public on the blockchain. So it's very easy for them to see money laundering and so on and whatever. You know, you can never stop money laundering, or because every dollar has its traces of cocaine on it. So you can never stop that anyway. So all the FUD that you hear right now, yeah, Bitcoin is only used by criminals and whatever. The central banks are the biggest criminals on earth, but just legally, the laws that they created, they're just playing the game according to the law. That's why they're not labeled as criminals. Okay, let's continue. This is another chart that I wanted to share with you guys. It is called the Richard-Wyckoff accumulation. This is something that I want to share with you guys. The Wyckoff pattern. It was named after Richard Emil Wyckoff, and he used to live back in the 1800s. And he was also in the stock trading market and so on. And he developed this theory that the big wheels are controlling the markets when you see these patterns forming in the price charts. And when you see this, you just have to study this for yourself. Take the time for yourself to study this. And the moment when I saw this pattern forming in the charts, that is the moment when I was super bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because this is basically an indication that the big institutions are telling you right in front of your face. It's like, we are here to control the market, and we are here to take maximum profits to benefit our own portfolio. And we are just here to control the market. And this is the same pattern that you see back in gold, back in silver, back in oil, and so on. And this is a sign for me personally that I believe that those big institutions, they're accumulating a lot of Bitcoin behind the scenes. They're just buying them over the counter for very cheap prices. And that is the reason why you see those bear market that crashes, because they want to take the profits, sell their coins, sell all their assets, cause a lot of panic and fear in the market, and then buy it for cheaper. So this is the way they increase their wealth and so on, because greed is it's what I call a spiritual disease. As a human being, you will never be satisfied with what you have. You always want more. Like everybody, once you have a car, you want another car. If you have 2 cars, you want 3 cars. You know, everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to grow bigger and bigger. That is what I realized with the big institution. They have nothing to lose. They just want sensation out of it, and this is how they play the game. So yeah, just looking at the distribution of the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, you can clearly see that these patterns are forming also in the charts. We have a high, we have an all-time high, which is over here, and then we have a higher high, which is formed over here, and then we have a lower low being formed. And this is especially in spring. And if we look at right now, we are now in spring season. And is it a coincidence that this price is almost one-on-one compared to this Richard Wyckoff's accumulation theory? Like it is like one-on-one, and you can tell them like they are here to manipulate the market and to cause a lot of fear in the market. If you're not educated about the market and what is happening behind the scene, you will also fall into the trap and sell your asset while they are buying it behind the scene. Because all those, I gotta tell you this, all those big run-ups are caused by retail. We are retail. Even if you're a millionaire, you're still retail. Those big institutions, they have billions and billions and trillions of dollars to invest in. And they buy when there's a lot of fear in the market. And all this run-up is caused by us. And the majority of the human population, when you just look around you, everybody's just like a sheep. Everybody just following the new trend, newest trend. Everybody wants the new phone. Everybody wants the new sunglasses. Everybody wants the new watches or a cell phone or whatever. I don't care. They're basically like sheeps, and they're profiting from those sheeps and taking their money. It's basically like stealing candy from a little kid. That's basically how they do it. Oh yeah, this is also an interesting chart that I want to share with you guys, is the correlation between the S&P 500 market and the Bitcoin market. And we can clearly see like the moment when the Bitcoin market bottomed, that was also an indication when the S&P 500 bottomed out. So if we see that the S&P 500 is most likely going to bottom out, that is the moment when we can see new run-ups to the previous all-time high, and then hopefully going to recover into new all-time highs in 2023. That's what I personally believe in. So all we got to do is stay patient and just keep buying it. Yeah. And there's also one thing that I always keep telling myself when the market is crashing. People lie, but numbers don't never lie. You know, and just follow the data, follow the money, and you will see the true stuff that is happening behind the scene. And that is the reason why I love analyzing the markets, what I love to look at numbers, because numbers is basically telling me a story. When I look at this chart, for example, at the Bitcoin price, I don't only look at the price of Bitcoin. What I see over here is the behavior of the investors and the behavior of the human population and what is happening around the world. All these price spikes and crashes, they all tell us events that is happening in the market. And everybody know, like when they see this crash in the crypto asset, when it was happening in March 2020, everybody can relate an event to this crash, which was the pandemic. So the prices, the charts are not only telling us what the price of an asset is, but it's also telling us the emotional cycle, the human behavior, and what the elites is doing behind the scene to control the market. And if you are aware of what is happening around the world, you know, with the war that's going on in Ukraine and Russia and so on, you can make, as an investor, you need to be aware of what is happening around you, because all those events that are happening, they are being spread out on the media. And the majority of the human population, they follow the media blindly. They don't think critically, like, is this what they're telling us in the news? Is it true? Yes or no? Do I need to double fact check? Yes or no? They're not doing it. All those media channels that you see, the news, Fox News, and so on, all of those organizations are centralized organizations, which means it's controlled by one of the biggest investors on earth, which is, you can look it up in Yahoo Finance. It's all public. It's Berkshire Hathaway. It's on Vanguard. It's BlackRock. They're basically controlling everything of us, like the food industry, the clothing industry, the social media. Just look on Yahoo Finance. You can see it for yourself. Everything is published in the media, on the internet. This is also one of the technical analysis that I respect. He's not always right, but he always shows his perspective on the market and the structure of what we can compare, what we can expect in the upcoming months. And this is basically what we can see, like the yellow uprising line is basically the run up of the bull cycle. So this is technically, looking from this perspective, this is not a big bear market. This is just a sideways accumulation, which you can translate into a crab market because it's going sideways. And we still need to have the last move up, which is going to be around 200K up to 300K. And then we need to have a big correction that's coming up before we make new all-time highs. Oh yeah, this is also a very nice indicator that I love about from this Twitter guy, Stuck Money L. He's basically showing the correlation between the Bitcoin price and the money flow index, and it's basically showing us where we can see the potential price bottoms of Bitcoin and other altcoins. And looking at this indicator, looking at the past cycle, we can see that every time the money flow index reached this blue line, this indicates a good buying entry to build up your portfolio and just sit and wait and be patient for the next leg up, for the next move up in the crypto market. And you can also double check this fact. Why? Because if you look at, for example, Cardano, let's look at this chart. We can see that this price level is a good support line for Cardano, which means that we can still make another lower low, which is going to cause another 50% correction. That is still in the cards. And then you need to ask yourself, if I have $1,000, am I willing to take the risk to invest my $1,000 in a price range of 55 cents per Cardano? Or am I just going to wait it out and hope for another crash that's coming up and then buy it more even cheaper to have more Cardano? Or am I going to dollar cost average chain, buying a little bit over here, buying a little bit over here, buying a little bit over here? These are the decisions that you need to ask yourself. And what I can tell you guys, this is what I learned from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, is that you pay taxes on your income. You pay taxes on your, if you have a company, you also pay taxes on that. But you don't pay taxes on your debt. And that is the beauty of getting a loan from the bank. When do you need to take a loan from the bank? When there's a lot of fear in the market, take a loan from the bank, invest, not in houses, not in cars, don't buy a stupid iPhone. Those are all liabilities because those assets will devalue your investments. Invest in assets that will actually provide fundamental value for the way we live, which is, for example, cryptocurrencies, which is, for example, if you look at biotech companies, they're also doing well. If you look at companies that are focusing on renewable energy and green energy, invest in that as well. Because those assets, they will increase in value. You will get a loan from the bank, let's say $5,000. You don't pay interest on that. You can just pay the debt back in 2 years or 3 years. In the crypto market, you can definitely pay it back. It's a safe investment. It's a safe strategy. It's like the way it's like the way you used to play Monopoly back when you were a kid. Just do it. Take the risk. Don't be afraid. Lending money is actually the way you grow in life. Taking risk, that's when you grow in life. And that's what you got to tell yourself. Am I willing to take a loan from the bank right now? Yes or no? I personally took a loan from the bank as well and just invested in crypto coins. I'm not afraid. Why? Because I saw in the past 3 years what I did with my portfolio, and I can wait another three years and I can pay the loan back up to 5 years with my fixed income anyway. So it's a win-win. It's not a risk at all. All right. So these are the bullish charts that I wanted to share with you. And to be realistic as a trader, you also need to look at the bearish perspective. So don't be too over bullish like I did in the past cycle, and it cost me a lot of money because it took my profit and it's now gone. But I still got the coins, the Satoshis. This is what I get. If any one of you has a question regarding this topic, just let me know and I'll answer that. If you don't have a question, then I'll just continue with the bearish charts. Is there any questions, guys?
Maybe one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that a lot of people in the space were over bullish when everything was happening?
Definitely. Like I never experienced a bull market before. This was my first bull market. And the moment when I went to the gym, I saw these teenagers. They were talking about crypto. I bought Shiba Inu. I bought this. I bought that. That is the moment where you need to when you need to take profits, a little bit of portion of your portfolio. Because when those sheeps are coming in, with all due respect, I used to be a sheep as well. That is the moment when you need to sell. When your barber is talking about crypto, when your mother or your grandma's talking about crypto, that is the moment when you need to realize, like, guys, it's getting too mainstream. It's time to take our profits now because people are too over bullish right now. And that is a good point that you're indicating right now. Looking at the behavior of the people around us is also telling us where the potential top is going to be or where the potential bottom is going to be. Everybody, back in those days when the pandemic was happening, when we had the crash in 2018 and 19, Everybody thought the price was going lower, and that is the moment when the markets tend to bounce. When the pandemic crash happened over here, when Bitcoin was around $3,000, people told us like it's going to 1,800, it's going to $1,000. Bitcoin is dead. That is the moment when you need to step in and use the reverse mentality. And that is exactly what Warren Buffett said. He is a billionaire for a reason. He told us like, be fearful when people are greedy and be greedy when people are fearful. Use the reverse mentality because the majority are not educated enough about investing stocks and how the market behaves with the human psychology. They unfortunately don't teach us this on schools. Like I personally studied financial accounting on my bachelor degree in the age of university in the Netherlands. I got a university degree. I'm super happy with that. But when I was learning about Bitcoin, I learned more in those 2 years studying Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, the financial system, just all by myself, just reading a book, watching YouTube video, watching documentaries that I learned in all my school years. Like honestly, when it comes to real knowledge that is really useful in our daily lives, I learned more than what they taught me in schools. And that is kind of the sad reality that we live in. And we have to acknowledge that. And being, asking yourself this question is gonna be painful for some, because when I was asking the question myself, like, did I really learn something at school? I had to be honest with myself, and it kind of hurt, I don't know what I studied. Like, I know what I studied, but at the same time, I don't know what I studied. You get the feeling like I forget everything. So it's not practical in our daily lives. That's what I noticed from schools. And I can tell you that from a personal experience, and I make more money in those 2 years investing in crypto than I made in those 6 years that I'm working full-time as a financial for several companies throughout the Netherlands. And that is what I can tell you. Like, knowledge is telling you where the money is, and you need to take risk. And in order to take risk, you need to try new things. And the moment you make mistakes, that is the moment when you're going to learn. And making mistakes is good because you're learning something new. And that is the moment when the growth curve is coming in. Being a successful investor doesn't happen in a day. You will make a lot of losses in the end. Just like the way you need to take a loan from the bank just to get a paper degree and to start working to pay your debt back. What is this? So yeah, that's basically the sad reality that I live in, and I want to change this to educate people about cryptocurrencies and what I learned so far. And I hope you guys don't have to suffer the way I did, so you can be more successful and do with your time what you want. Just be financial free. Don't have this financial stress of paying rent, mortgages, and whatever. No, just be free and spread more love in the world. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna die and we're gonna lose everything. Just make the world a better place and just live your life. Make it simple. So yeah, that's a really good question. Do you have any other question?
At the moment, not really. No.
Okay, so we look at the bullish perspective on the market, and we're now going to switch over to the bearish perspective. If the price is going to go lower, and can we prove this with indicators and charts in the Bitcoin price? So I took some screenshot. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and one of the YouTube channels that I really respect is Crypto Anup. It's over here. I'm going to give some credit to him. This is his channel. He's really good. I learned so much from him. His videos are short and straight to the point, and you don't waste a lot of time. And he's very realistic. He's not a moon boy or whatever. And that's why I really respect him. So I just took a summary from his choice here, so you don't have to look at all the videos. So basically, what he was telling us, like looking at the current price pattern that we're forming right now, is the current relief rally is good. But looking at the longer time frame, we can see that the price is going lower. We're forming a bearish flag, which indicates that the price of Bitcoin can go up to $18,000. And looking at the current price right now, it's not trading around $29,000. If it would go back to $18,000, it would crash another 36%, which is close to the previous all-time high of 20K. So that is a healthy correction in my opinion, because we always need to retest the previous all-time high before we make new higher highs. That is also still in the charts. So be aware of what is happening around the market. When that is happening, don't be afraid. Just relax, dollar cost averaging, and just diamond hand your coins. Simple as that. So the relief rally can take us up back to $39,000. And then that is the previous support line, but now it's forming a resistance line, which we can bounce off, which is the dead can't bounce. This is called the dead can't bounce. I don't know why I call it like that. They have all those weird names when it comes to TA, but whatever. So when the price of Bitcoin is rallying up to $39,000, don't be too over bullish, because that is this resistance line. We need to break that level and flip that as a support if you want to make new higher highs. So if we reach to $39,000, you can take some profits, or when you're in a leverage trade, it's smart to take some profits before the price is going even lower, and that is a potential price point where you can also short the market and also make money when the market is going down. That's the beauty of leverage trade. We don't care if the market's going up or down. We can make money both ways anyway. So this is also the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, but on a longer time frame, and we can clearly see like the way the price is forming in the charts. There is almost one-on-one with this theory, and this theory is also indicating that we can still go lower and form even longer sideways accumulation. And as we know, like in September, if you go over here to this website, moneychain.com, you can see over here the monthly market returns of up to, is this 61 years? No, it's 71 years comparison, okay? We can see that in January, we're in profit. February is a negative month. March is also is a positive month. April is a super positive month. May, it's a positive month. June, we're now in the June, it's also a positive month. July, positive. August, positive. September is going to be bearish. There's when a lot of correction is going to happen. And then the last quarter of the year, that is the moment when we start to make new higher highs, new all-time highs, hopefully. And it can take us up to the next quarter of the year as well. So up to 2023. So all we got to do is stay patient now and don't be too over bullish with all the news and the and all the tweets that you're seeing on social media. So please be careful with that. So yeah, a good bottom end indicator is around $19,000, which is the previous all-time high. So please be aware of that. That is still on the charts, and don't be too over bullish. All right. All right. Let's look at this chart. Let's read out this tweet. My high time frame analysis on Bitcoin has been some of the best on Twitter over the past 5 months. With every major pivot on my charts, just shilling myself because why not? Okay, so basically what it's indicating is, I don't know, bearish Gartley harmonic. Is this pattern called? I don't know. They have all these crazy names. I'm not aware of all these markets, but basically what it's pointing out is that when we're making higher lows and higher highs, don't be too over bullish because they can turn it into fake outs, which can bring us even to lower lows. Be aware of that. If we want to see new higher highs, we need to break the 50K level, or at least the 51K level. And once we break that, we need to hold it as support. Then I'm gonna turn bullish again. For now, I'm just dollar cost averaging in, and I'm just building in my portfolio, just like I did in 2019, when I told a lot of people to buy crypto. And hopefully, this is a new opportunity for all of us to step into the market when the time is right. So keep an eye on this as well. Oh, it's already forming out, playing out. And yeah, we can still, this is on the 4-hour time frame. The Elliott wave theory with the 5 waves and the ABC corrections. So yeah, basically these charts are indicating that the correction is not done yet. This dude is telling us that the resistance line of the previous price cycles is also pointing out that 18K is the ultimate bottom of the Bitcoin price. Those are potential price bottoms of Bitcoin. It is also very likely that it can bottom out right here and then make new higher highs. That is also still in the charts. But please be aware, when the price is still going lower, 18K is a good bottom indicator for us to make a reversal. All right, those are the bearish chart that I wanted to share with you guys. Now we're going to switch over to the news. If there is any questions, you can ask them now. If not, then we're just going to move on. No questions? All right, we're just going to continue. So just look at this. Bitcoin in the top 10 asset by market cap among over 13,000 assets. Number one, we have $11.7 trillion in the gold market. We have the Saudi Aramco. It's basically the oil industry. We have Apple, we have Microsoft, we have Alpha, we have Google, we have Silver, we have Amazon. And this is the beauty. All these companies that you see over here, they are adopting Bitcoin, which means that this amount of money, the trillions that are in this market, can flow back into Bitcoin, which can flip Berkshire Hathaway, which is the company of Warren Buffett that I personally look up to. So Bitcoin is still very early. Don't be too bearish on Bitcoin. It is so early. There is still so much money floating around in the market that can switch over to Bitcoin. And all these companies, we already know that Tesla is accepting Bitcoin. Apple is matter of time. Google, matter of time. They will fall like dominoes. And I'm pretty sure they're buying a lot of crypto over the counter behind the scenes. And they're not going to publicly announce it. Why? Because if they publicly announce it, it's going to cause FOMO. The retail is going to wake up and they're just going to buy up the market. And that's not how they want to play the market. They have a lot of patience. They have all the money in the world. They have no struggle when it comes to their primarily needs. So they could just wait another 2 years before the market's going to go up. So all we got to do as retailers, all we got to do is remain patient. Stock market is invented to switch wealth from the impatient to the patient one. That is also one of the quotes of Warren Buffett. So keep that in mind and please remain patient. And another news, back in 2012, you could buy a combi deal at the McDonald's. In 2017, you could buy a MacBook. And in 2022, you can buy a house with one Bitcoin. So just imagine what Bitcoin can do in the upcoming years. It's still heavily undervalued. A lot of companies are slowly adopting Bitcoin. We also had El Salvador that accepted Bitcoin as legal tender. He invited 44 statesmen to his country to talk about Bitcoin publicly. So we definitely see that mass adoption is on its way. So one Bitcoin, I personally say this for myself, one Bitcoin under $1 million is undervalued. Why? There's only 21 million Bitcoin on the world. There are like 6 up to 7 billion people on the world. And everybody wants just one Bitcoin. There's not enough for the people. Okay? So just simple math can prove us that Bitcoin is very scarce. Diamond hands. All right, Bitcoin mining, 58% of the hash rate is powered by sustainable energy, Bitcoin mining console. So basically what they're telling us, like Bitcoin is getting banned because it's bad for the environment and so on. Bitcoin loses less energy when it comes to, for example, Christmas lighting. When we look at our country, I saw a graph back in the days, the Bitcoin usage energy and the Christmas lighting and so on that is happening in the December month. Bitcoin is very even more sustainable than all the other energy consumers. So let's just move on. Kazakhstan made 1.5 million from Bitcoin mining fees in Q1, just mining. And if you can provide sustainable energy, it's just basically free money. Fidelity plans to hire 110 blockchain experts by year end as it expands beyond Bitcoin related services. So we can see that all these big institutions, when I look at accounting firms here in the Netherlands as well, they're slowly adopting more cryptocurrency and blockchain experts. So all we got to do as financials right now is we got to develop ourselves and teach ourselves what Bitcoin is, what blockchain technology is about, so we can stay up with the trend and so we can see what is happening around this and we can understand where the world is going to. And then you can see the pattern and then you can see the companies that you need to invest in, and that's how you build up your portfolio and your wealth. You need to work till you're 67 years old here in the Netherlands anyway, till you can retire. So why don't you just put the money into an asset that is even safer than your retirement investment? Just think simple. New Goldman Sachs survey shows insurance companies are warming up to investing in Bitcoin. Forbes. So Forbes just posted this article in their magazine. So we can definitely see, all those big companies are slowly adopting Bitcoin. So the current price it doesn't reflect the reality of the market right now. When I look at the chart of an asset, and if I want to buy an asset, I always ask myself this question: is the asset currently overvalued or undervalued? If it's undervalued, that's the moment when I buy in. It's simple as that. I'm not going to look at, oh, I could buy even lower, oh, I could buy even lower. Nobody knows where the bottom is. So we just got to make some estimation and the risk that you're willing to take before you take a position in the asset and building up your portfolio. That's how you do it. So always ask yourself, is the asset currently overvalued or undervalued? Simple question. Okay, Soros Fund CEO, Bitcoin has crossed into the mainstream. So he is also indicating that the Bitcoin is slowly getting mass adopted. It's slowly getting into the mainstream. Everybody knows Bitcoin. Yeah, but they are like the older generation that they don't know much about Bitcoin. Like they're like more difficult when it comes to changing. If you look at companies, when you implement a new process in the company, the elder ones, they don't like it. The younger ones, they always like it because they're so flexible and they can adapt to new technologies and so on. So let's continue. Accumulation. Let's show what the data is telling us. Canadian Bitcoin ETF has been aggressively accumulating 13,000 Bitcoins in 6 weeks. So we can see the accumulation pattern over the past months. It is at a new all-time high. Why? Because it's so cheap right now. They don't buy when the price is high. The big institution buy when the price is low. And the on-chain data on Glassnode, which is, you can look it up yourself, it's showing in the chart that they are buying the Bitcoins. Don't get fooled by the stuff that you hear in the media, by the people around you. Just look at data. Data never lies. Numbers don't lie. People do. It's that simple. All right, this is also a very fun chart that I saw on Twitter. If you go to this website, bitroar.com, you can see that Bitcoin legality map, all the countries that have determined that Bitcoin is illegal, or there's a legal tender, or that is still undecided. So you can see on a global level that the majority of the countries around the world, they accepted Bitcoin already. So, and this was updated on the 3rd of June, which is today. So this is a very good chart to look from a bigger perspective and see what is happening around the world. And don't get fooled when the price is going lower. Just look at what is happening in the trend, what the world is developing in, and where the world is going into. That is the moment when you can see like, okay, they're fooling us. The market is going down. I'm just going to buy it. I'm not a sheep. I'm a person with a brain. Simple as that. I'm a knowledgeable person. That's what you got to tell yourself. All right. When it comes to NFTs, I still want to talk about some NFTs in this session as well. Why? Because we can learn from these communities as well. One of the projects that I wanted to talk about, it's not promoted or whatever in any way, is Frogland. Why? I made a thread on Twitter. It's basically Frogland. It's made by the developers of PlayStation PlayStation Ho, excuse me, and they already worked on VR, virtual reality, since 2013, and they're gonna penetrate the metaverse land as well. So, and their frogs is currently trading on. Let me check. Notorious. Let me check if the price went lower. The current price is 0.27 Ethereum per frog. And basically what it does is like each frog gives you a digital land, and the digital land will give you resources, and you can rent it out and gain passive income. You can also rent out your frogs to other players because each frog has has stats. So if you look at it, it has some boost, it has some levels, and it has an effect on the gameplay that they're going to create. They're very knowledgeable on what they're doing. They're still building when everybody's bearish, and they just keep delivering new updates on the product. And the digital land is you can claim that on the 18th of June. So if you buy a frog right now, you can still get a unique land, which is a big size and whatever. So the best strategy to be profitable in this project is to just sweep the floor, and then when the land is coming up, everybody's gonna over-speculate and whatever. That's the moment when you can take your profits. If you believe in the project, you're just gonna hodl. If you don't, you can take your profits and leave. So that's one of the strategies that I'm gonna do as well. There is also another project. It's called Amakuni. It's very undervalued. Why? They didn't do well in their marketing, but looking at what they're developing and the characters, and especially the economic model, they compared the Axie Infinity model, economic model, which is basically inflationary, but they need to create an inflationary model. And the owner of this project, he showed me his economic model, and they basically implemented the same model as what Bitcoin did. So the value of the coins that you get per NFT, per Saru, will the value will increase over time, because the early adopters will get the most coins, and over time it will be the supply will decrease over time. It's just like the way Bitcoins work. And they have these insane alpha footages that you can see behind the scene. It looks really cool, but it's just a way for me to make profit, because the gaming industry is going to take over the world. We can see all these young teenagers making a living out of the gaming industry. So the new trend is going to be NFTs implemented in the gaming industry, which basically indicates that you can sell your asset. The asset actually belongs to you now, and you can make a living out of it. So yeah, don't just keep an eye on those projects as well. All right, I want to talk about some coins as well that I'm also scooping up right now. Is Opulus coin. If you look at the projects, they're basically I'm just going to read it out for you guys. We're reshaping the music industry with the world's first music fungible tokens, as well as exclusive artwork, NFTs, and DeFi services, so anyone can invest in their favorite artists and own a real piece of the music. So basically, if you like, for example, Post Malone, or you like Tyga, you like Kyle Little Pump, or this guy, I don't know who this is, but you can then have a more direct connection with the artist. And I think like if Tyga's gonna do something, like his fans is gonna follow it. So Opulus is basically a coin that you can get closer with your artist and have more direct connection in the digital world with the artist, and basically own a piece of the music. So, and looking at the coin that it was trading, it's now trading around 17 cents, and it used to have an all-time high of $7. So you can definitely make a big living out, you can definitely make a big return on investment out of this coin, because the music industry, they're slowly going to implement NFTs anyway, and Opulus is on a good way. They already have partnership with great artists. And Spotify is also going to implement NFTs. Instagram is going to implement NFTs. YouTube, the CEO of YouTube, I saw a video of it as well, is also talking about monetizing videos through NFTs, so you can literally own a piece of a video and just flex with it. It's basically what Klaus Schwab said, the head of the World Economic Forum. In 2030, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Basically, you will own nothing physically, but you will still be happy because everything is on the blockchain, it's on the digital world. Because he's also giving out hints like, hey guys, we're just going to live digital and we're going to control all of your aspect of your life. So yeah, either way, we're screwed. That's basically how I tell myself. There is also another coin that I want to talk about. It's called Hedera. It's called H-bar. The reason why I want to talk about this coin is very simple. Why? Look, Hedera is owned and governed by the world leading organization, Google. We have Boeing, we have Chainlink, we have Deutsche Telekom, we have all these big banks, we have all these big companies. There are basically invested in this coin as well. And if you look at the difference between the third generation and the first generation, which is Bitcoin, look at the transaction per second. It can do 3 transactions per second, and Hedera can do 10,000. Average fee is even lower than $1, lower than 1 cent. Transaction confirmation, 3 to 5 seconds. Energy usage per transaction is very low. So looking at Hedera, it is very optimized. It's the third generation. It has already big companies on board, and it also has a patent on their product, so you can't compete with them. And that's the beauty of this product, and that is the reason why I'm buying and holding this coin, because I believe that Hedera is going to work with, it's going to replace the Swift together with XRP, with Ripple. That's what I personally believe in, and I'm betting on these coins. Why? Because they have strong fundamentals. They have big companies on board. You can look it up in the white paper, just study it, and you will see it yourself. The majority is not going to follow it. Why? Because the majority, they don't study. They don't like to read what the long, boring ass white paper. But I do. And that's the moment when I see these coins and I want to share with you guys. Buy it. It's very cheap. You can buy it on Binance. Just buy and hodl. All you got to do, and it's going to make money for you. On the long run, just be patient. It's going to have its time. Also, Immutable X, it's now currently trading around $1 approximately, and it had an all-time high of $9. Why do I recommend this coin? Why? Because a lot of those play-to-earn games, they're basically launched the Ethereum blockchain. And we know that the gas fee on Ethereum is not the best. So we need the layer 2 that can handle the amount of transaction, which fixes the scalability problem. So if we look at Immutable X, if you can just read it up for yourself. It's very flexible with each action or each perform every option that you click and it's gonna perform an action. It's gonna put out a new transaction in a game, and you don't want to pay like I don't know, like $10 for each move that you're gonna make in a game. It's just gonna be too expensive. So Immutable X is a good solution for the gaming industry to be deployed on the Ethereum blockchain technology and be very cheap. It's basically gonna support the play to earn meta. So definitely buy this and make your money out of this. There's also another coin that I want to talk about. It has the same similarity when it comes to Chainlink, and I also bet on this coin as well. It's called Pocket Network. You can look it up on their website as well. They have already have a lot of other cryptocurrencies and blockchain networks implementing the network. It's now trading around 13 cents, and it all-time high used to be $3. And I'm just going for coins that have strong fundamentals, and they just keep building and delivering no matter what the markets do. And these are the coins that I'm betting on. Not betting, but that I believe in and that I have faith in, compared to all the shit coins that you see in the market. Sorry for my language, by the way. Just some reminders for all of you. Everyone wants Bitcoin at its all-time high, but then ignores when it's cheap. This is the reverse mentality we got to do. We got to buy when it's low. We got to sell when it's high. When the majority is coming in, that's the moment when you're going to take up profits. I learned it the hard way. It was the first time that I ever experienced a bull market myself with my own money. It's very different when it comes to practical experience. When you have a theory, you read about it, you can tell yourself, okay, I'm going to sell when the price is high. But the moment when you're in this situation, you just become so delusional out of the emotion. You're going to think like it's going higher. I used to think it was going to 200K. Well, I learned it the hard way. I lost my profits. I'm still in profit though, but it could be better if I sold it at the top and then bought it even lower. But yeah, this is basically the way the majority behaves when it comes to cryptocurrency. So don't be like them. Just be smart. You got a brain and study. Yeah, this is also what we discussed already. Yeah, that is basically it for this session, everybody. There's also one thing that I want to share with you guys. That is, I'm just going to keep reminding all of you, like every session I'm going to show this chart to you. Why? Because it's such an important chart that's going to keep our mind at ease. And that is not only the fact that the dollar is losing its purchasing power, but also the fact that we had a lot of reasons to sell when all these events happened back in the days. So the current events that we're seeing right now is basically something like this. Nobody's gonna talk about it in up to 5 years. Everybody's gonna forget about it. So the current emotion that you have right now is nothing compared to what the S&P 500 did. So from 2009 up to 2021, just 12 years, hold your assets. You're just gonna be profitable. Every reason that you saw over here, the Ebola virus, the pandemic, the oil spill, the flash crash, you also had the housing market back in 2008 with the Lehman Brothers crisis. All those reasons were just for us retail to sell out of fear, so the big institution can buy us even lower, buy it for cheaper. But if you just hold it throughout the crashes, you're gonna be profitable. So you gotta tell yourself, if you don't need the money right now, don't sell it. It's that simple. If you can hold it for another 10 years, just hold it. Play safe. Make sure that you're getting the investments out so you have a free moon bag and you can just leave it out there. If you want to play really safe, that's the best advice that I can give myself and the people around me. So yeah, be profitable, learn along the way. Nobody is gonna be successful in a day or in a month. It can take up to years. And all you gotta do is admit your mistakes. That's the first thing that you gotta do. Reflect on it and learn from it. We were born naked on this world. We came with nothing. We're gonna die. We're gonna leave everything behind anyway. So I gotta tell you guys, we're winning. Either we win, it's a gift, it's a blessing. We lose, it's a lesson. So it's a win-win if you look from this perspective. And that's the way I treat myself when I make wrong mistakes in life, even when it comes to investing or in real life, at work or whatever. That's how I teach myself, and yeah, that keeps me motivated to become older. I can't wait to become 60 years old and be like, yo, Warren Buffett, I made more money than you. We're the new generation. He won't be there anyway, but it's gonna be really cool
Laga,
just to see that. Yeah, what's up?
a lot of people are thinking that the Tether USD, right?
Yeah.
Because I
That's
know
really good
we've,
that you pointed out.
I,
Yeah,
yeah, I know you have talked about it multiple times in the coming months that
yeah.
they are printing money from
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere.
Correct.
People are afraid that it will deback the same way as USD did, as it is showing signs of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are expecting, if it does deback actually like USD, that Bitcoin will go back to $3,000. How do you see that happening?
Um, Look, and there's such a good question that you asked because I already saved an image for this to tell you guys to talk about as well, but I forgot about it. So thank you for reminding me about that. So basically, this is also a chart. It's basically USDT. If you look at USDT, the stablecoin Tether, it has been founded by cartel organization. I'm not lying. Just look at the people that are controlling the Tether, who are in charge of it. They all have criminal records in history. All the money they're putting into the coin they're printing is basically like is blood money. That's basically how you can see criminal money. So that is the basically the blood circulation of crypto that is keeping the coins. If you look at Binance, 90% is funded by Tether. If you look at KuCoin, at Huobi, 90% is funded by Tether. So and the beauty of Tether is not the beauty, but the dark side of Tether is they never completed an audit. They never had a complete audit by an external organization. Every time when they get audited, they just cut it out because they have something to hide. And what I gotta tell you guys is you gotta be careful because Tether is basically the blood circulation behind crypto. And if they crash, a lot of crypto exchanges such as Binance, Crypto.com, Huobi, KuCoin, they're gonna crash as well. They're gonna take their money, and that is definitely what can bring Bitcoin price to lower levels as well. And that's what I personally believe in. But if you look at long term, just to remind yourself, guys, it doesn't matter what happens. It is just gonna be the same chart as this, which you see right now. So me personally, I'm gonna keep an eye on Tether. That's gonna be for sure. But I'm not gonna be too over invested that I put money into crypto or in assets that I really need. So I'm just gonna play the safe game. I'm aware of that as well, and thank you for reminding me about it. So please be careful when you invest too much money into crypto. Don't FOMO in, please. Do your research, learn about it. Health is wealth. That's the real wealth that you get in life. Knowledge is
Try to
power.
invest more in USDC instead of
Yeah,
US
I personally
Tether
do
USD.
choose USDC. Yeah, true. I personally hold USDC more than USDT. I haven't studied USDC. I'm just gonna be honest with you, but looking at all the other ones, I just trust USDC more. But yeah, I learned along the way. If I lose all my money, it's okay. Why? Why am I okay with that? Of course, it's gonna be painful, but I learned lesson that I would never learn if I didn't took the risk. So that's why I keep telling myself, either I win, I get more money, I can do more with it, change people's life, change my life, my family's life, my friend's life, or I can learn. If I lose money, I learn. It's that simple. And I will strike. If I fall, I will stand up and strike even harder. That's how my mindset works. And so yeah, and you guys can definitely do way better than I do. 100%. You guys are smart people. Um, so yeah, that is basically what I wanted to talk about this session. I don't have anything else to add. If somebody else wants to share charts or tell their perspective, if you disagree with me, I'm open for it. I'm open-minded for all perspective on the market. I can always learn from other people, and that is the reason why I hold this session, so we can just share our thoughts and knowledge and be open-minded to each other. That's all we got to do. We're no enemies. We're no competitors. We just learn and we want to make money together. That's basically how I want to do for this community, especially with PartyFinance. If there's any question you can ask, if you want to share some ideas, charts, you're always welcome. If not, I think we can just wrap it up as well. I've got to take a screenshot of the ones who attended.
I just want to add that USDC and DAI are like they're overinsured by their DAOs. So like how both of those stable coins work is they have like a DAO that decides to add more backing cryptocurrency. So whether that's like Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, you submit that and then get USDC out. or die. So those two will likely never be like exploited because they're not algorithmic like USDT and that crappy one UST. So
Okay, I want to share a video with you guys. I'm gonna post it in the general chat. I learned so much from this guy, and he pointed out this chart, and he also had something interesting to share. Let me just find it for you guys in the video. Out of copyrights, I'm not gonna show right now because I'm recording this session. Let me see if I can find it for you guys, please. Let me just look at this, for example. I'm gonna post it in general chat, and then I'm gonna open it over here. If you look over here, for example, this, you can see Binance volume by currency. USDT is the biggest one, biggest funder. And that is the same thing when it comes to KuCoin and all the other ones. But I really want to share something with you guys. It's the wife of the founder of Tether. She's an artist, a painter. And look, this is her. I'm gonna take some screenshots for you guys so you guys can see it for yourself. This is the lady. So this is the guy that owns Tether, and this is his fiance, and she's an Italian artist. Okay, and this is the painting that she made, and it is recent. Okay, let me show you. Let me look it up. Look, this is one of the paintings. So they're basically giving us indication we are all Satoshi. Basically, she painted this, and it's recent. Basically telling us we're all sheeps, and we're just blindly investing into crypto. But in reality, they cannot back up their reserves. They cannot back up the money that they're printing. Look, this is another painting. In Crypto We Trust. She painted this one, by the way. And look at this. This is really scary. What I want to show with you guys. Look. And this is so insane. And credit goes to Chico Crypto, by the way. It's from his YouTube channel. Oh, why isn't it loading? Look. This is also a painting she recently painted. Sorry, you're fucked. Sorry, we're not Federal Reserve and have no reserves. And she is the fiance or the wife of the owner of Tether. She's basically pointing to us like it's gonna crash or something big is gonna happen. So that is also one of the things that I'm just like really cautious about. Like, if the crash is gonna happen, it's gonna be one of the biggest crashes, and it can definitely bring the price of Bitcoin very, very low. But at those prices, buy it, just hold it, and whatever. Because these kind of organizations, they need to get flushed out before a real strong organization is gonna take over. And yeah, that's personally what I believe in. So,
we need to get rid of the centralized exchanges.
Yeah, that is also really good that you pointed out. Not your keys, not your crypto. If you have Bitcoin, put it on a safe wallet, on a hard wallet. Don't put it on an exchange, because they can just control your fund. They can take it out and whatever. Just like what was it with Mount Gox, or what was the exchange called again? Back in the days, all the people lost their Bitcoins. It's very, very simple. Not your keys, not your crypto. Everybody should get a hard wallet. Put your crypto onto it. Never save the code phrase, seed phrase digitally. Always write it on a piece of paper or just memorize it out of the top of your head, something like that. Place it somewhere safe. That's how you got to do it. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I don't have anything else to add. Thank you so much for joining this session, everybody. I hope you guys learned a lot, even if it's a little bit. And we're just gonna make money together. That's how we're gonna do it.
Awesome job. I took a lot of screenshots. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge like that.
You're welcome. I love to do this. This is my I used to say this is my type of porn.
I can tell you just went on for an hour, so obviously you love it.
I 100% love it, especially when I see people succeed, even become better than I am. It makes me very happy, because
I think that hasn't happened yet, Laga.
I think it has. I know a friend. I told him to invest in crypto, and he made a lot of money, and he's still a student. He made a lot of money. He was so grateful. He was so grateful for that I told him.
Oh, I think I know the guy.
And
the guy that I started with, probably.
I don't think you know it. But I told him like you shouldn't thank me because he was the one who took the risk, not me. I just showed him the way. He took the steps, so all credit goes back to him. All right, that is what I wanted to share with you guys. Thanks again so much for watching. I'm gonna upload this session on the YouTube channel as well, so you can watch it up from the beginning. I'll send this out to you as well, Tim, so you can cut it in pieces for your Fiverr guy, and then we're just gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm gonna do this weekly, so you guys don't have to watch the market constantly if you don't want to, if you don't have the time. I'll love to do it. I'm just gonna gather all this bullish, bearish chart, the crypto news development, what is happening in the government and whatever, NFT news. I'm gonna just gather them, just have a great session with all of you guys, and hopefully we're gonna make a lot of money together and make the world a better place. That's my goal in life. All right.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks a
No worries.
lot.
Yeah,
man.
Laga.